What is up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're gonna be working on Donnie once again because there's still some things I have to add to him for what you may have already seen in my previous video for the 2025 Scooter Cannonball. Yes, we're gonna do it. I don't know how, but we're gonna do it. But what I am planning to add today, courtesy of Mercylion, is a monitoring system, front and rear camera, and they sent me the most basic of their systems, the M1000, because I already have enough screens and enough shit on the handlebars, so I don't need the most complicated system with the screens and everything. Just a simple front and rear camera and a controller on the dashboard. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. Alright, first of all, we got a pretty beautiful box. This is all 3D printed. It's actually quite a nice looking package and quite large for what is supposed to be a decently compact system. Although the cameras aren't all that compact, they are pretty beefy, but that should give them a bit of ruggedness. So let's open it up. Come on, nice and slow. There we go. We're gonna put the box here and slowly take everything out. First of all, we got ourselves a user manual with all the details. It's nice color print. I went through it, not a lot of typos as we see with many Chinese manufacturers. Moving on, we have the controller with two buttons to take a snapshot and to save a certain recording. This is where you have your micro SD card slot. I did upgrade this. It came with a 32 gig micro SD slot, but I did upgrade it to a 256 gigs. Next, we have the two cameras, and you have your front camera and your rear camera with some double-sided 3M tape already pre-applied, but also holes for different kinds of screws. The front one's cable is considerably shorter than the rear ones, which I like to see because this controller is going to be on the front. What else? We have a micro SD card reader. We have different mounts for the unit. This triangularly shaped mount that screws into the back right here. Oh yeah, the unit also has GPS for speed. Next we have our power cable with this connects to the unit, and here we have three power lines. One is ground, one is accessory, the red one again is accessory, and battery plus. So you have a plus and minus to the battery and an accessory switch to turn it on. We have a couple of zip ties, the screws for screwing this thing in, and a screwdriver for removing the cover of the micro SD card slot. And then the mount itself and different thickness adapters for different thickness of handlebars. So this is the mount. Again, it's all metal. It's very well made. You can adjust it a little bit. You can turn it around. Yeah, it looks nice. Very nice packaging. Anything else? Nope, that's it. The box is considerably bigger than it could have been, but I like to see that. It feels like a quality product, and it is a pretty nice unboxing experience. But I'm gonna start mounting it and come back with some conclusion and some test shots and everything. Well, that took about 2 hours. It wasn't a very difficult install, but I wanted to do it properly, and I wanted to mount them with wires as much as hidden as possible and as best I could. Considering what I had to work with, I think I did a pretty good job, but you know, let's take a look at it. So, as you can see, they are fairly hidden, but we'll start off in the back. Right here we have, this is the rear facing camera. It is mounted up here with a little hole that feeds the cable inside, and then it runs down the scooter and up to the front compartment where I have all the wiring and everything. And let's take this off. Oh yeah, so satisfying. It does look like a pretty sturdy camera. Moving on to the front camera, this is where it got interesting. As you can see, I have very little room. Normally some scooters mount it here, the camera, but I don't have any room there, or under the handlebar, under the light. But again, there's not enough gap here. So yeah, I mounted it on the inside of the fairing and then just drilled a hole that's big enough for the camera to stick out. So we have a camera here, and I think it's okay. All right, it is centered. I think that's a nice look. And up on the dashboard, we have all the cables. I don't know if you can see them in the reflection running down and inside the fairing. But we have the unit right up here next to the Kaiji. And you have this button to take a photo. You have this button to lock the current file so it doesn't overwrite it. And now, because there's movement and everything, it started a little recording, so it records every time. Sometimes it moves, somebody touches the scooter, it starts recording a little segment. Now, I did have to switch the 256 gig micro SD card because it was too big and it didn't recognize it. I switched to a 128 gig, so that should be sufficient. And the 256 went into my GoPro. All right, now it's shutting off again. And that's pretty much it. When you turn the ignition on, everything fires up and the unit takes a second or two. There it goes. And when the blue light starts flashing, that means that it will start recording. And there it goes. And when you turn the ignition off, it will stop the recording. The light will go to red and then it will shut off. Just a second. It takes a little bit. There it goes. So now the unit is going to completely shut off. Now, I'm not going to just ride with it home now and tell you how it is. I'm going to ride with it for 2 or 3 days, look at the footage, and see exactly what I think of it, and also show you the phone app and make up my mind if this is worth the money or not. Alright, so it's been a couple of days since I mounted the entire system. The unit is up here, the cameras are still one in the front, one in the back, mounted with double-sided tape, and they've been holding on without any kind of issues. I'm in a parking garage because I want to show you guys the app, and the screen just looks better on the phone when you're in a parking garage. So first of all, I'm going to turn off my Bluetooth. Going to Wi-Fi. I'm turning off the Bluetooth so it doesn't connect to the Kaiji for Android Auto. We're gonna connect to the M1000's Wi-Fi. Connecting. We are connected. We go into the app. Now the app is decent, but it is a little bit clunky every now and then. So this is the app. We can connect DVR Wi-Fi, and now there we have it. Image on the screen. It is a bit laggy here, but trust me, on normal it's 30 FPS, so you have a good view. If we go, we can stop the recording here. We can take a photo here. We can open up the album. It prompts us to stop recording when we open up the album. And now we can see everything that's stored on the memory card. And you can see your recordings, or you can download them on your phone. Like I've said, it is a little bit clunky, the app, but it works well. Sometimes the hour, as you can see, it says here it's 23, basically 15 minutes to midnight, and you can plainly see it's in the daytime. But yeah, otherwise the app works well. We have a couple of settings. Now it's gonna start recording again, but once we go into settings, it's gonna stop recording again. We have the Wi-Fi password. We have Wi-Fi life size, so I can choose what resolution I can watch the videos live here on my phone. Usually if you go lower, it's a bit of a better stream. It runs smoother. We can choose to record the audio, WDR, I don't know what is, date stamp. We can loop record 1, 2 or 3 minutes. G sensors, I've turned them off because one of the nights it kind of recorded the entire night and it nearly drained the battery, so I turned those off because why not? You can format the SD card, reset, and we have the software version. So let's disconnect from everything, turn off the Wi-Fi, turn off the scoot so the unit turns off, and then we're gonna take it out for a ride. It should turn off in a little bit. It still records a little bit after you've turned it off. There it goes. All right, turned on everything on the phone. So now when I put my ignition, the phone should connect to the Kaiji like normally. All right. Now I can put a couple of overlaid videos from this recording. Let's see, because it records audio. Let's get a timestamp. All right. Now I should be able to sync all 3 video streams, one from my GoPro and the 2 from the 2 cameras, from the front one and from the rear camera. Now in terms of image quality, I am pretty surprised. It actually is quite good, and it's not that difficult to read license plates on it. I don't know if I have room to exit the underground parking on this side. Well, let's see. Ah, sunlight. Quickly get the shades going. Let's let the car pass, and then we can make our way up. Nice and easy. Yeah, there's plenty of room. All right. So, is this thing worth it? Well, honestly, for $200, it ain't that bad. The image quality is good. The app could be a little bit better, but again, through Wi-Fi, yeah, kind of all of these apps are just about the same. But yeah, the app, maybe I would have liked it to be just a tad bit better. But image quality, and it's been working faultlessly up until this point, so I haven't had any issues with it. It has like a couple of hours of work time. I still haven't seen it in the rain or in the snow or in the cold, but in extreme heat, because it's kind of 40 degrees during the daytime here, it's been working very, very well. One thing I really like about this unit is the fact that we have only 2 big buttons here. One to take a snapshot, a picture, and yeah, it takes a picture, one with the front camera, one with the rear camera. If we hold down long enough for 5 seconds the camera button, it resets the entire unit. And then we have another one for the video. Press it once and it locks a certain recording in case something happens and I wanted to not record over it, because it loop records. I can press that button and the segment I am currently filming right now will stay unerased. And if I hold this down for 5 seconds, it formats the SD card. So all the control I really need right here in 2 buttons. And like I've said, for 200 euros, and if you go on their website now, they usually have something like a 10% discount every time. Plus, the link down in the description below is an affiliate link. So every time you buy something from that website using the affiliate link, the channel is gonna get a small kickback at no extra cost to you guys. Would I recommend you mount something like this? Well, if you ride a lot in the city, it's hard to say. You cannot deny the advantage of having everything you do while riding filmed. You never know when somebody is gonna hit you or is gonna accuse you that you brake suddenly or you brake check them. It's always nice, in case whatever happens, it's always nice to have video backup. Now we can see ourselves riding into the sunlight. We can see how the image looks riding into the sunlight, and I'm very, very quickly gonna turn it around, and we're gonna have the sun behind us, because I don't like riding with the sun in my face. Check for the tram. Just yield to the cars and we can punch it. So yeah, it's always nice to have everything recorded. The image quality is 1080p at 30 frames per second, and it looks good, okay? It looks very good. To my eyes, I see nothing wrong with the image quality. I really like how it looks, and yeah, I can read license plates quite easily. You sometimes, if in post you can actually zoom in a little bit and you can make out the license plate in case if it's not completely clear, but it gets the job done. Like here, look, check out this guy. Now, is it a good thing that it records my speed, my real world GPS speed? Kinda. I know some people would have rather liked to not have GPS speed, but you can choose the timestamps and everything if you don't want them to show up on your videos. You know what, let's go here. If you don't want the timestamp and everything to show up on video, you can choose that without any kind of issue, just turn them off. But I'm gonna keep them there because you never know when you need that information. I can always cut the video and edit the speed out, but I want everything recorded. And like I said, the nice thing is it's going on recording constantly. I don't have to think about it, and in case anything bad happens, I have it all on video. And in case I'm not at fault and somebody is accusing me of being at fault, then yeah, I can prove my innocence with these kinds of systems. And like I said, for 200 bucks, $200, it ain't that expensive for what it does. It's a fairly compact system. It does what it says on the box. I haven't had any issues with it, except the time, the exact hour is kind of iffy every now and then. Sometimes it goes wonky, but otherwise it's been working flawlessly. And yeah, if you want a relatively cheap but well-made and very well functioning camera system, then yeah, check out the Mercylion M1000. They do have more expensive units, but yeah, I'm getting the job done with this M1000 unit, no problem. And this is the system that's gonna stay on this scooter. I'm not upgrading to one of their more fancier systems with the screen and everything. I don't need to see my camera feed right here. All I needed to do is do its job, that's it. And it does its job pretty well. It's yield here. Oh, we have to yield a lot. There we go. So yeah, if you're interested in a camera system, check out the link in the description below. Like I've said, it's an affiliate link, so every time you buy something off their site with my affiliate link, the channel gets a small kickback. And hope you guys enjoyed this little review of the Mercylion M1000, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until next time, everyone, take care out there and ride safe. Bye!